Hi, everyone. I'm Alison Sweeney, and I am joined today with my wonderful co-stars, Victor Webster and Barbara Niven.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Victor. Hi, Barbara.
Hey,
Oh, I'm doing so well, and I missed you. I can't wait to see you Friday night in the movie, you and Victor and everybody. It's going to be like watching family movies.
Hopefully no one dies in your family movies, Victor.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I just keep finding hopefully no bodies either. Let's just go. Let's move on.
that would be an awkward family dinner, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're very excited, as Barbara said, for all of you to watch our new movie, One Bad Apple, a Hannah Swensen Mystery. And I just thought it'd be fun to pull together some questions to ask each of you, and I will answer also. And we could just get the conversation rolling. Oh, sorry, Barbara, you have notes, concerns?
I'm taking notes, darling. Dolores is now a PI. She has a notebook. She writes down clues.
Wait, I feel like you jumped right in and like threw at the audience a big spoiler for the movie. Do you want to explain?
Tell them. Well, I actually have something to say that's a little bit different. Allie doesn't know, but do you know that Alison Sweeney is also a writer, and she wrote this script, and I think it's fantastic. I love the stuff you wrote for me, Allie, and she Dolores now is a PI, and Alison, like, she's brilliant. How do you do it all? You're a mom, you're a wife, you're like, how many movies and how many shows do you do? But you can also
I try not to keep track.
Too much crazy.
So wait, you're saying you're a person of interest?
Oh, PI. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we Victor always has a lot of dad jokes.
We have fun new job for Barbara, and I feel like it's a little bit of a twist for you too, Victor. What'd you think of Chad's character?
I loved it. I love that there's a little back and forth between you and our characters, and kind of like that
steamy hot.
Yeah, I think that it's a really fun. I think we have some really good kind of like moonlighting energy going back and forth, kind of like a little bit of verbal tennis, not knowing, quite what footing we have and how much we can trust each other and how much we can involve each other. So it's great to watch it unfold.
Yeah. And it was really fun because I think it really caught Hannah off guard. Up until now, Hannah's sort of had that where everyone kind of gets on board for her mysteries and her theories and whatever clues and ideas she has. And then she kind of starts like brainstorming with Chad and Victor, you had such a funny look on your face. Like, yeah, go tell it to someone else. Like, not interested, lady. And it was just, I think that really creates a new dynamic for these two characters. That's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, Allie, remember how you and I were talking about it? I think that you finally kind of met your match with him because he's not a pushover. Not even with all that, the sweets, you can bat your eyelashes, honey, and you're smart and you can get your way with everybody. And it's not quite so easy with him, is it? That's the intrigue.
I think it'll keep the audience on their toes for sure. Yeah. So hopefully you all enjoy it as much as we obviously did filming these scenes. Okay, so let me jump right in and say, Hannah definitely keeps herself busy baking and coming up with delicious treats. And we know that Dolores has a new passion she's taken on while managing keeping herself busy. Now, Dolores has had a lot of different careers, if I can keep track along these stories that we've told. And now we bring in Chad, who is let's explain to the audience a little bit where Chad comes from in this, because I feel like maybe they don't know how we brought him into Hannah's universe.
How much can I share?
Well, what his job description is.
So I'm a prosecuting attorney. I'm just double checking with the writer to make sure I got it right.
Yes, that's correct. County prosecutor.
Prosecuting attorney. And I am now I oversee all of the cases once they've been investigated and it's time to prosecute somebody and we have our suspects, et cetera. We've got all the evidence. That's where I step in. And now I take charge So I'm later on down the line from the process of where you were before, when, you know, the inn that you had.
Yeah.
Was
so what I think is a fun way they meet is that Chad is prosecuting a case that Hannah and Dolores had worked on in a previous movie. Mm-hmm. And so I love that you're sort of left picking up the pieces of Hannah's, you know, kooky investigation, and you're like trying to be legit about this. And Hannah's like the baker in town, and you have to, our paths cross.
Yeah, and Chad's also very by the book. He doesn't work on speculation. Everything has to be investigated, it has to be facts. And I think Hannah's a little bit different. She goes off emotion, she goes off feelings, gut instinct, which is, so the two of us are very
Yes, it definitely creates some good tension between them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's fun because I did have fun with those scenes where Hannah's, you know, she just goes with her gut, like you said, and Chad's like, that's actually not a thing. Like, I can't tell a jury. What am I supposed to do with that?
I just felt that he was the criminal.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to admit, when you got it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Am I right or right? Was I right about it? Yeah, so just a little, as you mentioned, I did write this one, and some of that actually, just so you know, I don't know if you know this, Victor, but it was inspired by my dad, who watches all of my movies. So thanks, Papa. Thanks for watching. Yeah. But a couple movies ago, he called me after and he said, you know, that's not enough evidence. Like, how did the movie end like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I mean, he could take back his confession and then you have nothing. And I was like, oh, wait, what? And so, you know, part of Chad's character is inspired by my dad's need to have more actual proof.
Oh, I love that.
Tell your dad thanks. I love that too.
Yeah, I'm honored. To be that. That's my inspiration.
Yeah. He'll be so proud. So, okay. So another fun element I brought into this was inspired by one of the Joanna Fluke novels, in which Hannah decides to teach a baking class at the Lake Eden Community College. Have you guys ever taken a baking class or a cooking class?
Part of growing up in Canada when I was in, you know, junior high, was you took a home ec. So you took sewing, you took baking, you took all these different classes, woodworking, you took all these different classes to kind of be able to be a well-rounded individual. And so, yeah, I baked. I made my mom an apron that she still has to this day. I think I made a couple birdhouses.
That's the cutest story I've ever heard, ever.
Yeah.
So my history of classes during the pandemic, I have 3 grandkids. I have River, Solstice, and Wolfie. And during the pandemic, when they couldn't go out, I bought online baking classes. So we would do that for them, and they loved it. So, and we all loved it. So that was one thing we all did together.
Oh, that's so much fun. And do you both still cook or bake at all?
Oh, yes. My Sunday morning tradition here, when they spend the night at Mimi's house, my house, Wolfie, who's now 5, has to get the stool out, and he helps me make Belgian waffles. And I make 2 at a time, and then I put out cans of whipped cream and sprinkles, and they go for making creations. So we do that every Sunday morning.
So Victor, now you know where we will be on Sunday morning.
Exactly, like 9 o'clock, you know?
Yeah.
No, not 9 o'clock, please. They're still watching cartoons. No, not 9 o'clock.
11.
Maybe 11.
Oh, that's even better.
Waffle breakfast. Come on.
That's even better.
All right. What about you, Victor? You do some cooking or baking?
I'm an air fryer master.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that very much.
For me, being a bachelor, I cook as fast and healthy as possible.
Yeah.
So the air fryer, put it in, boom, done, come back, sit down, eat a dinner. As far as baked goods, I am a very good taste tester. There's not a baked good that is safe around me.
So can we have tips later on set about the air fryer thing? I have one here. I have a huge one.
I will sell you an online air fryer class.
Oh, well, thank you. I will accept.
Wow, I bet a lot of people on this Zoom are going to want to join in on that class from you, Victor. All right. So, okay. Are there any other hints about this new mystery that we want to share with the audience? Were there some, I'm going to let you go first, Barbara. Was there maybe a favorite scene you had in this latest
Okay,
mystery?
so I'm so sorry, but I have to, I'm afraid to give a hint or a clue because I will tell you who it may have, I will say too much, just let me just say it that way. But I will say that since Dolores is now a private eye, she has her own way, and she's actually pretty good at it, of getting clues and hints and going undercover with her hat and her sunglasses. And so one thing that she has developed is getting fingerprints by using her blush brush and some sticky tape. And voila.
I don't know if that's going to hold up in court.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's very stylish, very Dolores.
I like it though. It's fun. Did you have a favorite scene, Victor?
Sparkly. I had a few favorite scenes. I think one of them was when we were in the stairway, and I followed you up the stairway, and you and I had a couple ad-lib lines at the end there with each other. And you know, that's always what I always tell everybody. What I love about working with you is we can literally throw stuff at each other, and we stay in the scene and respond.
Yes.
To our characters.
That's Allie.
100%.
Yeah, Allie, that's who you are.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm lucky to work with both of you who enjoy that too and keep it fresh. And it's that scene in particular was kind of fun to see because I felt that way with your ad libs in the moment as it was happening, or I felt a certain way that I hope the audience will feel, but we're not going to give away too much because we want them to watch it and take it in for the first time. But what was also fun about that is you have to know, Victor, your ad libs are so well received that it isn't the first time I've seen an ad lib of yours make it into the trailer of the movie, because that happened to us during the Wedding Veil series too. There was a really clever ad lib moment you had, and I saw it in the trailer, and I was like, dude, Victor's just a trailer machine. He's got clever little fantasy ads. It's gonna come that I don't have to write anything, Victor. You just ad lib.
Oh, I don't know, but you don't want that.
You do come up with some really, really cute.
I have one clue for everybody.
Oh, good. Oh,
yeah. There might be some sort of apple involved. That's all I'm going to say. Don't call me crazy. I don't know why I figured it out, but yeah.
So the name of the book, Joanne Fluke's book that we based this mystery on is Apple Turnover Mystery. And I have to be honest, when I came up with the idea of One Bad Apple, I felt pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, that was really
that's a good one. I was pretty excited about that.
That was so good. Allie, what's it like after you write this to watch it actually happen? The scene happen, and the words come out of the actor's mouth, and you being in the scene too. I mean, that's what does that feel like?
No, it's an amazing feeling, but you also caught me several times like giggling because I was sitting at home at my computer and I could really hear your voice. Of course, Barbara, you in particular, but everyone. I really felt lucky to work with such great actors, and having worked with you before, Victor, I also could really put you in my head. Sorry if you were exhausted from running around my brain so much, but you guys, I could really picture you delivering these lines and acting it out. And so I had already imagined it in my mind. Wow. And so then to see it come to life in that scene at the restaurant, but then there were also these brilliant moments of ad lib, as you said, Victor. Those are my favorite, and I feel so proud that I created an opportunity for the ad libbing to shine. So I had imagined that scene at the restaurant where you two meet for the first time, and I had really imagined the enchanté. It was like brought such joy to me because I could just picture it like I months before you delivered it.
That was perfect, Allie. You're in our head.
But then and it's actually one of the photos they're using, Hallmark Mystery is using to advertise, is that you put your hand out for him, and I just was such a fan in that moment, and I wanted to collapse with laugh, like so charmed by it, and it was funny and cute and wonderful, and you just were so good in it. And then of course Victor, you responded so perfectly, spontaneously in the moment. And I just felt proud, like, that I had kind of created this opportunity, and then you both just like ran with it and took it to a way higher, better level than I could ever have imagined. And little things
hard
like
not to respond when you're mesmerized by Barbara.
Yes, exactly.
So I wasn't even acting anymore. I was just responding as myself.
Brother. You know what, Allie? That's what we go into this business for, isn't it? I mean, it's like the old Judy Garland, Mickey thing. It's about just making a show happen, just putting on a show and getting we're so lucky to get to do this, not only this craft, but to do it with people that we really love. And that now that we know, we just trust each other, because it's not always like that. We just trust each other that whatever happens on camera, it's going to be magical. And I just got goosebumps. I was meant to say that. It's such an honor to work with you, Allie, and play your mom. And I feel like you're my daughter, whether it's by birth or not. And now to welcome you into the family too, Victor, is just, I love you already.
Oh.
And Nova. Okay, so he has a dog who sits in the makeup chair with him as he does.
We love
different hair.
Nova.
Yes, Nova.
He's like our mascot. Like the Dalmatian in the fire truck. Nova's our spirit animal. Okay, so that's sort of a fun thing to ask you too, Victor. Like, what do you find is sort of the most fun about acting to you? Is that besides ad-libbing, which you've already mentioned, is there something about taking on these kind of roles that you enjoy that's surprising to people?
I grew up and I never really knew what I wanted to be. I started playing, there's a show in Canada called Mr. Dress Up, and he had a trunk full of costumes. And so I would play Superman, I'd be a cowboy, I'd be a police officer, a fireman, I'd do all this different stuff. I never know what I wanted to do. And I've probably been through a couple lifetimes worth of different jobs: stockbrokers, sold computer components, taught martial arts, like sold ladies' shoes. I've done tons of different types of things. This job, acting, allows me to play all these different characters within one job. So I can be, a fireman, a police officer, a prosecuting attorney, all these different things. I love traveling. I love being on set, joking around, laughing. I love the craft service table. I just love working, 16 hours a day and then having, 3 days off. It's not an easy job by any means, but I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know. I feel the same way. It's so, and so for me, I am not like a baking expert, but I do love to bake. And there's something so thrilling about doing those montage sequences where I get to learn from an expert who has worked on this one particular recipe and created these beautiful images of how we're going to put it together. And I get to learn how to do some pretty cool techniques that I would never have known as like a at-home baker that makes, cookies or whatever with my kids. I've learned some really fancy stuff and put together some amazing desserts that is just so fun to learn something new and get to do something that isn't part of my regular day and have fun doing it and also share that with the audience. So I totally echo what you're saying. I think that's one of my favorite things.
Yes. Can I add one thing to those montages that are so beautiful? Because I reread the words in the script. Each one of the voiceovers that you say when you're doing those montages of baking is always such a profound life statement too. I just love, and I love how you deliver it, but I rewatch it. And then when I'm looking at the script, I think, yeah, that's right. And there's so many parallels to so many parts of life that you do with baking or that you do with acting. Yeah.
It's sort of not hard to come up with like really sort of meaningful life advice or just a commentary on things that really happen in your life. And it always does sort of seem to tie together with some like thing about baking, like, waiting for the dough to rise or, it needs time to wait before you can put it in the, like whatever. It's just so funny how true.
Or sometimes the cake falls and you got to start over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so getting back on track here, back to Chad for a second. I do want to give the audience a little tease as to what we think the audience is going to connect with in regards to Chad. What do we think are Chad's qualities that the audience will respond to and get excited about?
I think he wears some really nice suits. I think they've done a really great job with the suit game. Yeah. I think
it's definitely not the person wearing the suits. Definitely not. Right?
The banter back and forth between us. There's also good banter back and forth between Lonnie and I. Yeah. So some of the kind of straight man comedy aspects that hopefully Chad can bring. And just that dynamic of.
Do you think people will be on Chad's side with Hannah? Like that they are rule followers. I think, like, for example, in real life, what
was this movie called again?
One Bad Apple.
But what's the rest of it?
A Hannah Swensen Mystery.
Yeah, I think they're going to be on your side.
No, I'm saying I think people are rule followers. Like I would never do the things that Hannah does.
I think that they love how kind of free spirited you are, and you just go with the flow. And I think that they will like the aspect of Chad coming in and challenging that a little bit. But ultimately, I think we know who solves the cases and does a very great job at it. So.
Okay, I think it'll be fun to find out. Though now she's got real competition with Dolores. I mean,
I know. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it runs in the genes, darling. That's what Dolores keeps saying too. And I have to say, Allie, that I'm so sorry. Dolores is so. I feel like she's mean to you sometimes. They're just so big, and I hope that I mean, sometimes I feel bad about it.
I think we should ask the audience to comment on it. So in the comments, let us know, because I love Dolores. She's my favorite character. And I think, like, I tease my mom about it, you know, that I think that's a role of a mom that she is. And by the way, we could use more of it today where moms are tough on their kids. Are you kidding? Like, my son doesn't cut his hair. He's going to hear, you know, who he hears about it from is me, like not his friends. That's what a mom is for, is to, you know, want more for their kids, know what they're capable of, and hold them to that higher standard. Because
I think
because you love me. Go ahead, Victor. Sorry.
No, I'm building off what you said. I think people will relate to that. I don't know that anybody's mom or parent, for that matter, is nice to them all the time. They've always got something to interject in a teachable moment, and I think that makes Dolores very relatable.
Right, but Dolores does say things like. You know, she has a favorite daughter. She has those things. Dolores has some issues, I just have to say. But she is always, she wants the best. She loves you, and she loves her other two daughters too. Sometimes I think Dolores is fun to play because she doesn't edit herself, which we all edit ourselves. And she just is out with it and is glorious about it. And my best friend has said, when I say, oh my God, I can't believe Dolores says this, and I feel like it's going to hurt her feelings, and she says, honey, this is just you for real on steroids. So I don't even know where to put that.
I think you play it beautifully. I think it's so fun. I feel exactly what Victor said. The audience relates to it and identifies with that feeling of having a mom that says things that maybe you can't believe just happened out loud. And she's earned it. She's earned the right to say what she thinks. I love it.
My mom has foot and mouth disease. Means she puts her foot in her mouth quite often. My mom has no filter whatsoever. I love it about her. But it does get her into trouble sometimes, so I can relate.
Okay, I own it then.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I did want to ask. We did talk about there is also a murder mystery happening as we develop these characters and have fun together and have lots of outrageous things happen. But one of the things I like the most, and my first clue for One Bad Apple that I want to share with the audience, is I think they're going to be caught off guard and surprised by who gets murdered. Am I supposed to say who?
Oh, yes.
No,
yes.
Right. Who gets murdered?
Because
So I think that's going to catch people off guard, which I'm really excited about and want to leave as a surprise for the audience too. I think you're going to watch the very beginning and like kind of be trying to keep up. Like, wait, because you know, my daughter Megan always in the first scene, she's like, "Oh, they did it." You're like, "What? Nothing's happened yet. No one's even dead yet. What are you talking about?"
I wonder if they're going to be sad that they meet Chad and then Chad's gone.
Yeah, well, that would be, yeah. No, of
I
course.
didn't mean to spoil it. I didn't mean to spoil it.
That's a whole other show, darling.
Yeah, it's don't count your chickens. You never know in Lake Eden.
And don't piss Allie off because she's writing these things now.
I know, right? I had somebody ask me. I had somebody ask me in an interview the other day. It's like, would you move to Lake Eden? With the population versus murder ratio, like
highest murder rate.
I would for the bakery goods.
Yeah. Maybe you drive in from whatever town is nearby. Just to
commute is in order.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to throw in a little clue yourself, Victor?
I mean, I read the script and I was still thrown off as I was reading because usually. I can pick out, it's going to be this person. And I was very thrown off by who died. And I was very thrown off by the person that did it. And that's, so compliments to you, because I think writing a script is difficult as it is. But when you've got to make all these twists and turns and you know, red herrings and all these different things and mislead people, that adds a whole nother element that's got to be incredibly difficult. And I just, I think you did great with that because I was thrown off. And I consider myself of average intelligence. So usually I figure it out. Yeah.
So, but don't you also think, I think it'll be fun to watch it again, knowing how it ends, because I do think there are these little, I hope the audience feels there's these little nuggets along the way that are going to be like, oh, now I see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any fun little things you want to throw out for the audience to look out for, Barbara, during the movie? Like a little moment or a fun highlight that you want to
my favorite thing, well, meeting Chad, enchanté. I mean, just looking up and being gobsmacked by this gorgeous, you can almost hear behind him. You'll see this.
It was the
Pardon?
It was the
suit he's trying to say, please.
Oh, yeah, it was a suit. Oh,
wardrobe.
Yeah. Wardrobe. He fills his suit up pretty well. Yeah. I mean, even Dolores is a little, But Allie, my favorite scenes are always what you and I have going on together, because you go with whatever happens, and we trust each other now. And so every time we're in a close-up, here's one scene you'll see. She's in a close-up. We're doing a scene, and I'm trying to zhuzh her hair up.
That's my favorite.
All of that. And what I always do, what Dolores does, because actually my mother used to do this to me, is when you're close and then you go, come here. And she's like, mother, and it got in the movie again too. So we just surprise each other, and that's like the biggest joy for me is getting to work with good people like this. So you guys
it's funny, actually, Victor, back to the sort of highlights of the fun things about being an actor is all the different, jobs you get to pretend to be, the roles you get to pretend to be. This may be one of 2 times in my entire career I did a scene in a bathroom. So that was like a actual bathroom, public restroom. And so Barbara and I have this, I thought it was so fun. It was pretty hard for the editor actually, but it was hilarious.
Was it hard for the editor?
Because there's a mirror. And so each shot of you and then me, we had to edit together, but we did it different. Like we actually matched some of that physicality really well, but you see it in the mirror also. So we saw it was harder than the average scene to shoot in that. And there's this great moment where Dolores is trying to keep it a secret. Sorry to spoil this, but you just have to know. And so she's like looking under the stalls
to see if there's feet. You got to know if there's feet in there, right?
What if they're standing on the toilet seat?
That's
true.
Exactly.
That's true. She should, next time you're gonna up your game and
I'm gonna up my game and look up the thanks.
I got you.
But that was such a blast, and Dolores cannot be outrageous enough. And then I think you ground it. So together, I always think when you go into a scene, it's like Abbott and Costello, or with you guys, it's like the old Thin Man chemistry series. You know, like that.
I don't know if you've ever watched that series, Victor, but you have to. The Thin Man series is like amazing and funny and really clever, and it's
smart.
Black and white. I mean,
smart, like Tracy and Hepburn. That's
I'm
smart,
watching
fun
it.
stuff.
I'll watch it tonight.
It's really clever. Though hilarious. I don't know how they can solve murder mysteries with martinis in their hands like the entire time. Like they literally do the whole movie like holding a martini glass, and you're like,
and the dog asked to.
Oh, and they had a dog. Yeah, you'd love the dog. It was pretty clever. It was a cute
the dog I'm in.
Okay, so this has been so much fun, and you guys, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope I get to see you again sometime soon.
Sure hope so.
I sure hope so.
Yes, we do.
Wink,
so,
wink. Nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Yeah, sleuthers, if you like our show, please watch, and please just help us, because you watching is the only reason we get to keep doing these, and we're so grateful for all of you that we get to keep playing together. So you're part of the family too.
We love all of your comments, and we love all of the feedback that you have. So, send it to us, hashtag, all that good social media stuff, because we love reading them and looking at them, and it just makes us happy.
And we'll be live tweeting with you.
And the hashtag is hashtag Hannah Swensen. And the premiere of the movie is Friday night, 9/8 Central, Friday, April 5th, only on Hallmark Mystery. And we're really excited to share this latest Hannah Swensen mystery with all of you. One Bad Apple. You both have been so wonderful. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you all for watching. Put comments. Let us know what you think. Is your mom like Dolores? We all need to know that. What are the baking things you guys love to do? We want to hear from all of you. So yes, please comment.
Thank you. Thanks, Allie. Thanks, Victor.
Bye,
guys. We love you.